So what are some of the things that come to our mind when we think of winters?
Clothes, warm clothes, chai.
The pakoras.
Pakoras. Yes.
Great. So have you wondered why gajar ka halwa, adrak chai, warm soup, or maybe khichdi with lots of ghee, especially eaten with your hands, feels so good? The reason is that there's a interrelation between food and mood. So actually food affects our mood and vice versa. Something that we learnt in our previous talk on food and mood. Did you also know that B12 deficiency isn't just about fatigue? It can mess up with your mind. Think memory problems, difficulty concentrating, even mood swings. Yep, your brain needs its B12 to shine. Okay, now that we know that bit, how about acing up our knowledge about food a little more? Are we in?
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Who better to help us than our expert, nutritional psychologist Ms. Suchi Sharma. As we begin today's talk on nutrition and mental health disorders, diving deep into the role of diet in shaping psychological well-being, may I please request you all to keep your phones on silent mode. Ms. Suchi Sharma is a seasoned consultant dietitian with an extensive 20-year tenure at VIMHANS, holding a postgraduate diploma in dietetics from Delhi University. She specializes in providing comprehensive counseling and guidance in dietetics and nutrition, particularly focusing on mental health disorders, neurology, orthopedics, and pediatric nutrition. Throughout her tenure, Mrs. Sharma has adeptly overseen dietary activities and requirements for patients, excelling in managing dietary counseling sessions and mentoring numerous interns. Her dedication extends beyond clinical practice as she actively engages in advancing nutritional approaches in mental health through various activities and patient-oriented events. She has also been writing for the Rising Kashmir, a leading newspaper, where she contributes numerous insightful articles delving into food, specific diets, and their impact on health. Our partner for today is the Mind Diaries, the first of its kind magazine on mental health and well-being. A copy has been handed over to you. The magazine, which has been running for over a year, aims to create awareness towards mental health, encouraging seeking expert help. Besides first-person accounts of fighting back, there are expert columns, inspirational stories, and more. Before we hand over to our expert, we request you to keep your questions ready for our question and answer slot scheduled for the end of the session. We also request you to please limit your questions to the topic, keeping time in mind. We know it's late, it's dark, we all want to get home to our cozy homes and warm food. Welcome, Ms. Sharma.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this chilly winter evening. Okay. So the topic for today's discussion is nutrition in mental disorders. Let me ask you one thing first. Whenever you fall sick, maybe cold, cough, fever, any kind of infection in the body, what do? First thing you go to a physician, you seek help from a doctor, he will put down ABCD medicines for you. What is your next question? What should we eat? What should we eat and what should we avoid? क्या खाना है, क्या परहेज करने हैं? But when you are little anxious, you feel little depressed, feel little low. Have you ever thought क्या खाएं कि ये anxiety ठीक हो जाए? क्या खाएं कि ये depression ठीक हो जाए? Good. So we will talk about this topic in detail today, nutrition in mental disorders. Are there correlations between nutrition and mental health? Yes. Many people think that if it is a brain disorder, so the root cause is brain. But actually it's a signal. Then one or more body signal with the brain has gone wrong. If you have depression, it can affect your brain. If you have anxiety, it can affect your digestion, your gut. And liver is affected if you have inflammation in the brain or the body. The role and importance of diet in mental disorders is a topic of growing interest in the field of mental health. Diet cannot alone treat or replace any therapy. It is a complementary therapy which has to go with your professional treatment. Let me just explain you gut and brain axis. A lot has been talked about gut and brain, their connection, how gut and brain are connected. Many patients also come to us, दिमाग की बीमारी आप पेट के लिए क्यों पूछ रहे हैं? Why are you asking about stomach issues, disturbance in the GI? हमको तो बीमारी दिमाग की है. But the most important connection is your gut and brain. Brain and gut are two distantly placed organs, yet very closely connected through a vagus nerve, the wanderer nerve. This nerve originates from the brain and engulfs your stomach, releasing neurotransmitters and chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. What happens when you have a headache? You take a pill, the chemicals from the pill goes to the gut and then to the brain. In the same way, food has chemicals which get broken down, absorbed, and the neurotransmitter or the chemicals transfer the signals to the brain. This connection goes both ways. A troubled intestine can send signals to the brain, just as a troubled brain can send signals to the gut. This is the gut-brain connection. Brain and gut are interconnected. Stress, anxiety, and other mental health conditions have physiological consequences such as disrupting gut motility. Gut motility is the movement of the food from your mouth to your rectum, and functionality, which results in symptoms such as constipation and stomach pain. In the same way, from the gut to the brain, enteric nervous system in the gut produces neurotransmitters such as serotonin, which is very helpful in regulating your mood, which impacts mental health conditions such as stress, anxiety, and depression, and may even contribute to personal characteristics. In a healthy individuals, these chemicals make sure that the brain and brain work smoothly. The connection is smooth. But when these chemicals are underproduced or overproduced, then the disturbance starts. Now, what are the benefits of eating well, specific to mental diet? अभी तक आपने सुना होगा physical health के लिए we eat for a physical health. Physical health अच्छी करनी है, eat good food. तंदुरुस्त रहना है, eat good food. But mental health also has a very crucial impact on the diet which you eat. Enhanced sleep quality via good nutrition. Good nutrition plays a role in promoting healthy sleep pattern. Diet rich in tryptophan and magnesium helps in maintaining the sleep-wake cycle and also regulate the quality of the sleep. Enhanced mood. A balanced diet can positively impact your mood and well-being. A diet rich in complex carbohydrate, lean proteins, good fat, vitamin and minerals stabilizes your blood sugar levels, helps in the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulates your mood. You feel happy after eating a well-balanced, healthy meal. Increase energy levels. Again, if you eat healthy, you will feel better. If you eat healthy, the blood sugar stabilizes and you have sustained release of energy throughout the day. Reduces symptoms of mental health disorders. Studies suggest that certain nutrients like vitamin B12, magnesium, zinc, iron reduces the symptoms of depression, stress, anxiety, ADHD and other mental disorders. Improved gut health. We just now talked about gut health, brain and gut connection. A diet rich in probiotic, prebiotic fiber helps in balancing the gut microbiota, the gut microbiome, the kind of microorganisms present in the gut, and thus helps in secretion in neurotransmitters or also impacts your mood, your anxiety levels and your stress levels. Better stress management. Eating a healthy diet helps regulate the cortisol levels and also helps in production of hormones that relieve stress from the body. Resilience of stress is better. Coping mechanism in a body is better if you eat healthy diet. Improved brain function. Proper nutrition provides necessary nutrients for optimal brain function. A diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids. आप सबने सुना होगा, बचपन से कहते आ रहे हैं, बादाम खाइए, अखरोट खाइए for a healthy brain. It is all rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Vitamin and mineral and antioxidants are vital for supporting neurotransmitter functions, also for cognitive learning, and helps reducing the inflammation in the brain. So eat healthy for a healthy brain also, besides your body. Types of mental disorders. Anxiety disorders, mood disorders, bipolar, post-traumatic stress disorders, schizophrenia, eating disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder, disruptive behavior and dissocial disorders, neurodevelopment disorders. Today's main focus will be on these disorders: anxiety, depression, OCD, schizophrenia and eating disorders. Anxiety disorders. Anxiety involves persistent and excessive worry that interferes with daily activities. An estimated 4% of the global population currently experience an anxiety disorder. In 2019, 301 million people in the world had an anxiety disorder, making anxiety disorder the most common of all mental disorders. Anxiety symptoms can make you feel unwell. Coping with anxiety can be a challenge and often requires making lifestyle changes. There aren't any diet changes that can cure anxiety, but watching what you eat may help. Even if you don't have any anxiety disorders, but still you may have experienced anxiety feeling in your life any point of time. Any wedding, any special interview, any special call, any exam. What does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel when you have a little bit of anxiety? Restless. You feel a little nausea, vomiting feeling. You feel like going to washroom again and again. Termed as butterflies in your stomach. This is brain and gut connection. This is the connection between brain and gut. Now, foods to have and foods to avoid in association with anxiety. Vegetable and fruits, specifically seasonal vegetable and fruits. Omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-lipoic acids, omega-9 fatty acids. Olive oil, sunflowers, soybean oil, almonds are omega-9 fatty acids. Alpha-lipoic will be from your spinach, broccoli, organ parts of the meat. Omega-3, fish oil, chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts. Nuts and seeds. Healthy dietary pattern, Mediterranean diet, where more emphasis is given to vegetable and fruits. Traditional dietary patterns, ghee is coming back to life for everyone now. Anti-inflammatory dietary patterns, again vegetable and fruits. Caloric restrictions, fasting or intermittent fasting. Breakfast consumption. Breakfast is a very important meal of your day. It means breaking the fast. Research suggests, and it has been seen, if you have a good balanced breakfast in the morning, the symptoms of anxiety are less throughout the day because you have sustained release of energy throughout the day. You don't have fluctuations in your blood sugar. Broad spectrum micronutrients, vegan diet, zinc, magnesium, selenium, diet rich in vitamin C, vitamin E, choline. Choline has a calming effect on the brain. Ketogenic diet and food sources of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. It is probiotics and prebiotics, fermented foods, curd, coffee, these kind of foods come under this category. Also some culinary herbs, turmeric, green tea, herbal tea, some polyphenols like dark chocolate, dark colored vegetables, dark grapes, purple cabbage. These kind of things help lessen the symptoms of anxiety. Now what foods you should avoid for anxiety are high-fat diets, high cholesterol and high trans fats, inadequate tryptophan and dietary protein. Tryptophan is a precursor of serotonin. Tryptophan is an amino acid, so protein food come under this category. High intake of sugar and refined carbohydrate. Artificial artificial sweetener, especially aspartame. Unhealthy dietary patterns, typically defined as high in unhealthy fats and refined sugar. And snacking. By snacking here, unhealthy snacking. Again and again snacking. Snacking after every 1 hour. Healthy eating habits can mean the difference between a day filled with jitters and a day of calm and peace. Tips for healthy eating to help people with anxiety to improve overall wellness and reduce feeling of anxiety. Eat small regular meals. Eat whole grains and complex carbohydrates. Dalia, oats, brown rice, ragi, jowar, bajra, whole wheat. Avoid refined sugar and canned foods, preserved foods, foods which come under tins. Limit your caffeine intake. Limit your alcohol intake. Limit artificial sweeteners. Keep yourself well hydrated. Drink water. Include omega-3 fatty acids in your diet. Some foods may help improve brain function, which have positively impact anxiety, mood and stress level. Use of turmeric. Indians के घर में turmeric के use की कोई कमी नहीं है. We have turmeric in almost all the curries and vegetables in the diet. Turmeric has a compound called curcumin, which is antidepressant, anti-inflammatory and antibacterial also. Yogurt, again the role of probiotics come here. Dark chocolates, because of its antioxidant properties, polyphenols and zinc. Coming to depression. Depression is characterized by persistent depressed mood or loss of pleasure or interest in activities for long period of time. An estimated 3.8% of population experience depression, including 5% of adults and 5.7% of adults older than 60 years. Approximately 280 million people in the world have depression. Now, diet plays a very significant role in depression, and making inappropriate dietary choices can have a positive impact on your mental health. Here are some ways in which diet can influence depression. Nutrient deficiencies. Certain nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, B12, zinc, iron, magnesium helps in production and regulation of serotonin. It's a neurotransmitter which is responsible for your mood. If your serotonin production is low, the symptoms of depression are high. It impacts the symptoms of depression. Serotonin production with the help of foods rich in tryptophan, because tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin. You get serotonin when serotonin breaks down into tryptophan. It's an amino acid. 90% of the serotonin is produced in the gut. Inflammation. Chronic inflammations are linked with depression. Certain dietary patterns like eating a very western kind of a diet, processed food, high sugar, high fat, causes inflammation in the brain and in the body also, which leads to symptoms of depression. On the other hand, if you consume anti-inflammatory diet, a diet rich in antioxidants, a diet rich in seasonal fruits and vegetables, had a reverse effect on symptoms of depression. Gut microbiome. We have already talked about gut. A diet rich in probiotic, prebiotic, fiber can support a healthy gut microbiome and potentially improve symptoms of depression. Blood sugar balance. Fluctuations in your blood sugar causes mood and energy imbalance, causes symptoms of depression. You feel little uneasy when you have fluctuations in your blood sugar levels. Maintain a stable blood sugar level for a steady release of energy throughout the day, and it lessens the symptoms of depression. The NOVA food classification system. With regard to processing, researchers have developed various classification of food items. One very popular classification is the NOVA classification system, which groups food into 4 categories according to the extent and purpose of processing they undergo. It is a standard adopted in the global food industry. Group 1, it is the unprocessed or minimally processed foods. Fresh, dry or frozen vegetables or fruits, grain, legumes, meat, fish, egg, nuts and seeds. Processing includes removal of inedible or unwanted parts and preparation for storage. Group 2, processed culinary ingredients, plant oil, olive oil, coconut oil, animal fats, cream, butter, maple syrup, sugar, honey and salt. Substance derived from group 1 foods or nature bioprocesses including milling, grinding, refining, pressing and drying. Group 3, these are the processed foods. Bottled vegetables, canned fish, fruits in syrup, beer, wine, cheese and freshly made bread. Created by adding salt, oil, sugar or other substances from group 2 to group 1 foods. Now come the UPFs, the ultra processed foods. Sugar, sweetened beverages, burger, pizza, ice cream, sweet and savory packed snacks, instant soup and chicken nuggets. These formulations are made mostly or entirely from substances derived from foods and additives, and they include very little intact from group 1. Ultra-processed foods are highly processed foods that contain artificial additives to food enhancers and flavor enhancers. These additives include colors, dyes, anti-caking agent, anti-foaming agent, flavor enhancers, etc. These foods are often very low in caloric value, high in sugar, high in sodium, and nutritive value is very low. And these can lead to serious health conditions like obesity, diabetes, heart diseases. Some of the examples are packaged meal, your microwavable khana, sweetened beverages, frozen foods are all ultra-processed foods. Now the research says the individuals eating more ultra-processed foods had higher likelihood of depression. Individuals frequently consuming ultra-processed foods had moderate likelihood of depression compared to top consumers. And individuals these consuming ultra-processed foods have less likelihood of depression. Sugar in processed foods can lead to inflammation throughout the body and the brain, which may contribute to mood disorders including anxiety and depression. Obsessive compulsive disorders. Obsessive compulsive disorders is a long-lasting disorder in which there are uncontrollable and recurring thoughts engaged in repetitive behavior or sometimes both. OCD is considered as a serious disabling psychiatric disorder influencing 2 to 3% of the total general population with an unknown etiology. OCD and diet. Foods to have if you have symptoms of OCD. Nuts and seeds, which are packed with healthy nutrients. Proteins. Introduce prebiotics and probiotics to your diet. Increase intake of omega-3 fatty acids. Complex carbohydrates like fruits and vegetables. Whole grains, which keep your blood sugar levels steady. Foods high in antioxidants. Foods rich in zinc, vitamin B12, vitamin D, and foods rich in glycine and cysteine. Now, gut bacteria changes when OCD symptoms emerges. 30% of people with OCD have symptoms of anxiety, have symptoms of gastric troubles. B12 is very important in OCD because B12 helps in metabolism of homocysteine. Homocysteine is a compound which, if increased in the brain, it can cause serious threat to your cardiac muscles also, blood clotting also, and mental conditions also. So whenever a patient of OCD comes, the first thing a doctor, a physician, a psychiatrist do is get the B12 level checked. Homocysteine or B12 are inversely related. If your homocysteine levels are high, it means your B12 is good. So keeping a balanced B12 is very necessary. Good bacteria in the stomach are also involved in the production of B12. Absorption and production of B12 is better with healthy blood flora. Bifidobacterium is present in soil, which helps in production of absorption of B12 better. तभी कहा जाता है नंगे पैर walk करना है morning में in the grass. Planting, touch with the soil is very important. Start gardening so that your touch is there with the soil and you absorb the bacteria from the soil. Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids were taken in combination of polyphenols. The availability of omega-3 is better. Like fish oil, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds are rich in omega-3. Polyphenols, wine, red wine especially, tea, dark chocolates, black coffee. Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is characterized by significant impairment in the way reality is perceived and changes in behavior. Schizophrenia affects approximately 24 million people or 1 in 300 people worldwide. This rate is 1 in 2 people and people among adults. Now this is the pathophysiology of schizophrenia. Poor diet and dietary practices. High intake of refined sugars, high intake of fatty diet, high intake of preserved and ultra-processed foods. Nutritional excesses. Even excess of nutrients is bad because it causes toxicity in the body. Nutritional deficiencies like deficiency of B12, iron, zinc. Celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Leads to hyperhomocystinemia, increases the oxidative stress, immune dysregulation, pro-inflammation and gut microbial dysbiosis, which can lead to symptoms of schizophrenia. Nutrition and nutritional factors in schizophrenia. Poor diet leading to hyperhomocystinemia, which reduces your antioxidant status and increases oxidative stress in the body. A diet rich in omega-6 fatty acids and low in omega-3 fatty acids, leading to metabolic syndromes, high inflammation and immune dysregulation. Deficiency of vitamin A, B, C and E, leading to gut microbial dysbiosis, neurotransmitter dysfunction, leading to symptoms of schizophrenia. Now, what foods to avoid and what to have specific to schizophrenia? Essential fats, fiber, antioxidant-rich diet, cysteine-rich foods, niacin-rich foods, vitamin B12 and folic acid and zinc. And foods to avoid are the components of Western diet. Basically refined sugar, refined cereal, processed food, etc. Food high in bad fats, butter, cream, organ meats. High glycemic index carbohydrate, white bread, paida, refined sugars, refined cereals. Gluten, which is present in wheat and wheat products. Sugar and alcohol. Now coming to eating disorders. A broad group of psychological disorder with abnormal eating behaviors leading to physiological effects from overeating or insufficient food intake. Based on diagnostic interview data from National Comorbidity Survey Adolescent Supplement, the lifetime prevalence of eating disorders was 2.7%. Eating disorders were more than twice as prevalent among females than males. Prevalence increased modestly with age. Eating disorders include anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorders. Anorexia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa is characterized by a significant and persistent reduction in food intake, leading to extremely low body weight in the context of age, sex, and physical health. A relentless pursuit of thinness, a distortion of the body image, and instant fear of gaining weight, and extremely disturbed eating behavior. Many people with anorexia see themselves as overweight even when they are starved or severely malnourished. Bulimia nervosa. Bulimia nervosa is characterized by binge eating, large amount of food in short time, along with a sense of a loss of control, followed by a type of behavior that compensates for the binge, such as purging, vomiting, excessive use of laxatives or diuretics, fasting and or excessive exercise. Unlike anorexia, people with bulimia can fall within the normal range for their weight. But like people with anorexia, they often fear gaining weight, want desperately to lose weight and are intensely unhappy with their body size and shape. Binge eating disorders. Binge eating disorders is characterized by recurrent binge eating episodes during which a person feels a loss of control and marked distress over his or her eating. Unlike bulimia, binge eating episodes are not followed by purging, excessive exercise or fasting. As a result, people with binge eating disorder often are overweight or obese. Now, eating disorder in respect to mental health is of utmost importance because it is linked with depression, anxiety, self-harm, suicidal thoughts and behavior. 54% of patients with bipolar have history of eating disorders. No matter what type of eating disorder you have, it affects your mental health as well as your physical health. Vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, low immunity, low bone density, irregular moods, electrolyte balance. Now, we have, ma'am and me have seen several cases of eating disorders. It's very, what should I say, it feels very bad when you see young females, 9th class ka bachcha hai, 10th class ka bachcha hai with eating disorders. Emancipated looking girl coming to us saying कि मेरा weight ज़्यादा है, 42 kgs, 43 kgs, and they think their weight is more. Their weight is very much. They want to reduce more. It feels very bad. So the counseling plays a very important part here. When we go meet the patient, first instance come कि I am looking bad, मैं मोटी लगती हूँ. हमारे पास after COVID एक case आया था. It was a 14-year-old girl, national level badminton player. Very good in academics, very good in sports. Friends peer pressure, ये pressure पड़ गया था कि I am looking fat, although she was weighing just 45 kgs. Peer share body है, I am not looking good. So used to eat food, then she used to vomit. It became very difficult for us to treat her. Initially it took few days to understand what the problem is. Eating disorder ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ anorexia है, bulimia है, we will go and treat the patient. It was not like that with her. बात करते करते धीरे धीरे पता लगा कि friends ने, because she is good in academics, अच्छे marks आ रहे हैं, she was a science student in 11th class. It became a horror for the family also because एकदम ये हो गया कि मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगी. धीरे धीरे जब काउंसलिंग स्टार्ट हुई तो फर्स्ट पार्ट कम्स इज असेस द न्यूट्रिशनल स्टेटस ऑफ द पेशेंट, गेट द ब्लड टेस्ट डन, कहाँ कहाँ डेफिशिएंसीज है, विटामिन, मिनरल, B12, जिंक, क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम है. इट बिकेम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस. देन वी स्टार्टेड मेकिंग रीजनेबल मील प्लान्स. वी यूज्ड टू गिव न्यूट्रिएंट डेंस फूड्स, स्मॉल मील्स, एक एक हफ्ते का मील प्लान बनाया करते थे ताकि उसको लगे कि चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, उसको लगे मेरा वेट गेन नहीं हो रहा. बिकॉज आफ्टर एवरी मील शी यूज्ड टू गो ऑन द वेइंग स्केल एंड वेट, अरे आज 500 ग्राम बढ़ गया, अरे आज 1 किलो बढ़ गया, मैं आपकी डाइट नहीं खाऊंगी बिकॉज आपने मेरा वेट बढ़ा दिया. देन इट बिकेम वेरी चैलेंजिंग फॉर अस. वी यूज्ड टू गिव अ न्यूट्रिएंट डेंस फूड्स, न्यूट्रिएंट डेंस स्नैक्स इन फैक्ट. देन व्हाट हैपेंड आफ्टर इनिशियल टॉक्स, इनिशियल काउंसलिंग, फिर बात निकल के आई आपकी स्किन अच्छी है, यहाँ पे जो नर्सेस काम करती हैं they have very healthy hair, they are looking very beautiful because obviously skin also started showing signs of malnourishment, body showing emaciated looks. So that was the trigger point for us. We took that point. If you want a healthy body and a healthy skin and a healthy hair, start eating healthy. Then we started with giving juices. आप red juice लो for your healthy eyes, आप green juice लो. We used to nutritious dense the things, protein supplement add कर देते थे उसमें. उसमें we used to add chia seed, dry fruits को roast करके powder करके, so that she get the nutrient she needed. उसके बाद after few days snacking से start किया. Snacking में मैं कुछ नहीं खाऊंगी, मैं मोटी हो जाऊंगी. Meals छोटे देते थे, snacks छोटे देते थे. 6 to 8 meals in a day we used to give her. Roasted मखाना, चना, मूंगफली, peanuts, roasted almonds, so that omega-3 requirements are met. Vegetable juices, vegetable smoothies, so that vitamin and minerals are met. Then initially we started calling her for our culinary therapies, where we do cooking with our patients. उसके बाद she got better. She started eating and the weight was also better. One more example I would like to quote here. She was a lawyer. Very well established lawyer. She has some thoughts of superstitious or some spiritual belief she had कि I will only drink, that too thrice in a day. Emaciated, patli, malnourished looking girl, 26, 27 years old. It became very difficult as pure vegetarian. Then we took permission from the family and we used to mix egg in her milk with other proteins, with other nutrients. She started having this without knowing it. उसमें vanilla essence, some soft flavors we used to change the smell and the flavor of the egg in the milk. She started having that. She was thinking कि ठीक है मैं तो drink कर रही हूँ. After 6 months she got into a normal habit of eating solid food. So eating disorder is a very typical case when it doesn't only come to mental disorder. It distorts your physical image also. We started giving more of serotonin rich foods to her. Because serotonin production होगा, she will feel happy, she will feel good. उसको बोला जाता था विटामिन डी लो बाहर बैठ के, हमारे साथ बैठ के सन में बैठो ताकि विटामिन डी एब्जॉर्प्शन बेटर हो, इम्यूनिटी इज बेटर. Stress eating and emotional eating. Stress, the hormones it unleashes and effects of high fat, sugary comfort food push people towards overeating. Emotional eating is using food to make yourself feel better, to fill emotional needs rather than your stomach. This is the emotional eating cycle. You are upset about something, you are sad about something, something happened with you, something happened that makes you upset. You feel an overwhelming urge to eat. You feel guilty and powerless over you eat more than you know you should. And you feel guilty and powerless over food. Ab to kha liya. I am feeling better. Let me have it. This is emotional eating. For this, I would like to say, stress also seems to affect food preferences. Numerous studies have shown that physical or emotional distress increases the intake of food high in fat, sugar, or sometimes both. High cortisol levels, in combination with high insulin levels, may be responsible. Other research suggests that ghrelin, a hunger hormone, may have a role to play here. One theory is that overweight people have elevated insulin levels and stress-related weight gain is more likely to occur in the presence of high insulin. For stress eating, I would like to say have a positive relation with food. Food and mood are interconnected. We have already discussed in our last session. Food is directly related with your emotions. Be it a celebration, be it a sickness, be it sharing food. It is a connection you are having with the food, by the food. Eating also releases dopamine, which is responsible for the excitement in your body. Now, what are the ways to cope with stress and emotional eating? If you are really hungry, you should differentiate between your physical hunger and emotional hunger. There are two different things. People think emotional hunger is more powerful than your physical hunger, but it's in your mind, it's in your perception. Eat when your body tells you that eat, not when your emotions tell you. And if you are really hungry, go for water first. Try having a glass of water. If still you are feeling like hungry, want to eat the favorite food, a piece of cake which is lying in the fridge, try grasping a fruit. An apple le liya, an orange le liya. If you feel like after finishing an apple, then also you feel कि हाँ hunger is there, that is your physical hunger. अगर emotional hunger होगी, तो ये steps करने से it will fade down. Put nutrition before comfort. Usually in stress, in emotional eating, क्या होता है? Comfort food, whatever you get your hands on. The typical example is Dil Dhadakne Do movie, where Shefali Shah feeds on the cake and she keeps on having that cake. Chocolates.
Cakes.
In stress eating, people look for comfort food. If you think you are in this habit of stress eating or emotional eating, first thing is remove all kind of comfort food from your almirah, from your cupboards, from your kitchen. Instead, start keeping healthy snacks. Buna hua chana, roasted makhana, buni hui peanuts. Even chickpea is good. Fruits and vegetables. Whenever you feel like, nahi, this is not stress, you should differentiate between physical hunger and emotional hunger. So once you will start doing it, you will obviously go and have a carrot or a cucumber or a handful of nuts instead of going for the chocolate cake or chocolate biscuit. Move and exercise. Whenever the stress is coming over the hunger part, try to move, try to go for a walk, try to exercise. Have healthier cooking options with you available in the kitchen. Mindful eating. Eat with all your senses. Eat at a silent place. Eat with gadgets out. Increase your water intake. Keep yourself well hydrated. Nimbu pani, coconut water, chaach, lassi, unsweetened beverages. Anything which does not have sugar. Go for that first. Comorbidities with other mental disorders. More than half of 56.2% of respondents with anorexia nervosa, 94.5% with bulimia nervosa, and 78.9% with binge eating disorder disorder met criteria for at least one of the core DSM-4 disorders assessed in the NCSR. All three eating disorders had the highest comorbidity with an anxiety disorder. Researchers in Australia did a study on people with eating disorders, including anorexia, bulimia, and eating disorder, to determine what alterations they have that is reflected in their blood work. It turns out that the strongest deficiency were in following minerals: manganese, iron, and vitamin D. Iron is responsible for your hemoglobin content. Vitamin D is responsible for your overall immunity. Now, here's a small activity. We are giving you a small packet of cake. There are 2 fingers of cake. Take out one and eat it. Even diabetics can have it. Just take a small little piece.
You could try anyone.
Anyone. So, what all did you observe?
No, there is no difference between the eat first, then we'll explain.
What did you feel? What did you observe? Anything?
Comfort.
Comfort. Very good.
You expected a sugar rush to hit you?
No.
Which,
I am not expecting that. I am not expecting that, ma'am. Did you observe the color?
Definitely less sugar in this.
Less sugar in this? Did you observe the flavor? Did you observe the texture? Nobody. A piece of cake. Let's grab it. Now let me tell you. Acha, can you tell me the ingredients present in this cake? What all it contains?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon and
Dry fruits.
good. Thank you, sir.
Dry fruits.
Dry fruits.
Cherries.
Cherries.
Atta?
Yes.
Salt.
जी mostly आपने बता ही दिए. So when we eat this kind of food, we are eating it mindlessly. लिया और खा लिया. जैसे मैम ने कहा कि मैं I avoid sugar. इसमें गुड़ डाला है, इसमें wheat है, इसमें black pepper है, इसमें salt है to tickle all your taste buds. इसमें carrot है, इसमें almonds है, इसमें walnut है, इसमें cinnamon है. So when you eat, now try having one more bite. After knowing it has all the ingredients, it doesn't have egg. Very less good is there in the cake.
Yes.
I am not averse to egg.
Okay. Now can you feel the ingredients? Because you are eating mindfully. Consciously you are involving all your 5 senses in it. Bitter taste, देख रहे हैं, color देख रहे हैं, does not have any additives, does not have any color and any preservatives. This is mindful eating when you are sitting quietly enjoying your food. When you enjoy your food, food becomes a healer. Food has healing properties.
Now I'm smelling, so I can also
Enjoy and
smell the
relish your
ingredients
food.
also.
Use all your 5 senses when you are eating. Gadget-free dining area. Sitting quietly, enjoying, relishing every bite, thanking for the food is mindful eating.
Not the company.
We have made it, sir.
It's made in VIMHANS.
It's made especially for this activity. We added all the ingredients in it. How is it otherwise?
It's very healthy.
It's very healthy. You don't think a cake is a healthy diet, a healthy dish.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good sometimes. No, for sure.
Now coming to backbones of overall health and well-being. Daily exercise, incorporating serotonin boosters in your diet, happy hormones. Getting quality sleep, including prebiotics and probiotics in diet. Eating brain foods. Exercise. We all know exercise causes your brain to release feel-good chemicals like endorphins and serotonin, which help improve your mood. It also improves your fitness, which can help lift your mood. Doing physical activity can also distract you from the negative thought patterns. If you exercise regularly, it can help reduce stress, boost your memory, reduce symptoms of mental health conditions like depression, anxiety or schizophrenia, and help with recovery from mental health issues. Serotonin boosters, we have already talked a lot about this, but one way to possibly sneak more tryptophan in your diet is get it along with complex carbohydrate sources, like proteins with carbohydrates. Tryptophan is an amino acid which is mostly available in protein-rich diet, protein-rich foods, along with vegetable and fruits, legumes and whole grains. The availability and absorption of tryptophan is better, like whole wheat bread with cheese, oatmeal with a handful of nuts, plums or pineapple with your favorite crackers. Exposure to sun, getting vitamin D from the sun is also important. It also plays an important role in boosting your serotonin levels. Quality sleep. Sleep is very important for everybody. Somebody says 7 to 8. As you age, it decreases to 5 to 6. Sleep is important to a number of brain and body functions, engage in processing daily events and regulating emotions and behavior. Sleep helps maintain cognitive skills such as attention, learning and memory, such that poor sleep can make it much more difficult to cope with even relatively minor stressors and even can impact your ability to perceive the world accurately. Sleep deprivation studies show that otherwise healthy people can experience increased anxiety and distress levels following poor sleep. Those with mental health disorders are even more likely to experience chronic sleep problems. And in turn, these sleep problems are likely to exacerbate psychiatric symptoms and even risk for suicides. Prebiotics and probiotics. Probiotics are the beneficial bacteria present in fermented foods like curd, idli, dhokla, cheese, homemade vegetable pickle, overnight cooked rice and kanji. They contain good bacteria that thrive on the naturally occurring sugar और फाइबर इन द फूड बैक्टीरिया. किसी भी चीज को आप खमीर कर रहे हैं, किसी भी चीज को फर्मेंट कर रहे हैं, you are inculcating the good bacteria in that food. Prebiotics, these are food for that bacteria. Type of fiber found in vegetable, fruits, legumes and grains. Rich sources of prebiotics are berries, beans, chickpea, peas, oats, green leafy vegetables, onion, garlic, banana. Eating nutritious food high in prebiotics and probiotics will improve your gut health. Unhealthy foods which are full of short-chain carbohydrates, sugar and fats. Now, according to Uma Naidu, MD nutritional psychiatrist, these are some brain foods which everyone should be aware of and must consume. This is the abbreviation of brain in relation to food. B, berries and beans, different kind of berries, different kind of beans. Rainbow colors of fruit and vegetable. Try to incorporate Vibgor in your diet. Antioxidants include lean proteins and plant-based proteins. Nuts like almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, cashew nuts. Fiber-rich foods, fish, fermented fruits, oils. Omega-3 rich foods. Dairy, milk and milk products, curd, paneer, cheese. Spices like haldi, jeera, long, dalchini, easily available in every Indian household kitchen. Recent studies have shown that diet can have profound impact on mental health conditions, ranging from ADHD to depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, OCD, dementia and beyond. Now these are some of the rich sources of nutrients we talked about. Magnesium, glycine, niacin, selenium, tryptophan. Now this is a biosocial model. This model assumes that mental health problems are not limited to one domain of human experience. Most mental health problems are influenced by multiple domains of human experience and have biological, social, psychological and even nutrition and dietetics play a special role in this. Biological means your medical things. Physical health, genes, neurochemistry, comorbidities attached with your problem. Psychological are your emotions, attitude, relationships, temperament and perception. Social and spiritual impacts means work, culture, socioeconomic status, family, circumstances in which you live. For example, if someone who is depressed might have become that way because of a medical condition such as a heart attack, social conditions such as losing a loved one, or a psychological condition such as low self-esteem. Regardless of the cause, that person's depression will likely to show physical symptoms such as slurred speech and lessened appetite. Psychological such as suicidal thoughts, suicidal behavior, and social symptoms such as social withdrawal. At VIMHANS, we take care of all the needs. Physical, providing medicines, this is done by psychiatrists. Psychological, cognitive therapies. Social, interaction and creative therapies. And nutrition and diet, done by the dietitians at the hospital. I don't know how relatable it is, but I find it very relatable with mental health issues and food. I heard it somewhere. जब भी आप कुछ खाना बनाते हैं, जब भी कोई डिश बना रहे हैं, there are different ingredients involved in the dish. Every ingredient has a different role to play. तेल में जीरा डालेंगे, different sound, different effect, different flavor. Onion डालेंगे, garlic डालेंगे, आलू डालेंगे, whatever you want to put in. Everything has different flavor. Every flavor has distinct taste. Everything has distinct sound, texture, feel of it. But when the dish is complete, what is the most important ingredient? If you talk about any savory dish?
Salt.
Salt. Without salt, the dish is incomplete. Salt added to dish in appropriate time and appropriate amount makes a huge difference to the dish. So try to be the salt in any dish, any relationship, even if your mental health is there. It is okay to be not okay, because mental health really matters. Try to be that salt, be it relationship, be it your personal health, be it your emotional health. Because salt is a thing, be that salt because your presence will matter and your absence will be really felt. If you are absent, if namak is absent in a diet, it is felt. And if you are adding that namak in your diet, आपने बताया कि एक में नमक था, it is felt. Try to be that salt. With that, we will finish with our presentation. And thank you all. And thank you so much.